Alright, so welcome back to another tier list. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since I've done one of these, but I thought I'd bring them back. And what better tier list to make right now than a Fall Guys minigame tier list? Game's been out for about a week now. I've been absolutely loving it, and I've had a chance to play around with it and play all the different games now. And by play around with it, I mean no life it. Yeah, I've been playing way too much. But I've had a chance to play all the different games now multiple times, and I've had some good and bad experiences with all of them, I think. And I have conjured up this here tier list. Now, before we get into this, I just want to point out a couple of things. We'll get the disclaimer over and done with before we start. This tier list is just my own personal opinion. I want people to realize that there really is nothing objective when it comes to Fall Guys. Some people are going to like some minigames, some people are going to like other minigames, and for various different reasons. So I really don't think there is a sort of objective tier list that can be made on this. I just wanted to kind of give my take based on my own personal experience with it. So if you disagree with anything that's in this list, just try and remember it is just my opinion, even though it's 2020 and I'm pretty sure there's legislation against that. So there's that, and you also might notice that Jump Showdown is actually in there. Now, at the time I'm recording this, there was supposed to be an update coming out today that was going to have Jump Showdown in it, but the update I think has been delayed until tomorrow because they wanted to make some last minute changes to the patch. So Jump Showdown, as of when I'm filming this, is actually not out yet, but it is in the tier list. I basically just put it in there as a kind of prediction for how good I think it's going to be, so try not to take that one too serious. It may come out and be complete shit, I don't know. But now I've got that out of the way, we're going to go through this tier list. We've got 6 tiers: legendary, solid, good, naff, and get in the bin. I think we're going to start with the bin, work our way up. Also, do me a favor while you're here and while I'm dripping with sweat, because it's like a fucking volcano in here. If you enjoy the video or you just want to help support the channel, maybe think about hitting that like button. Let's get started. So first of all, I should just say none of these tiers are actually in any particular order. The only one that is ordered is this one. Royal Fumble, aka Royal Fuck Up, aka Royal Fun Vacuum. Yeah, I don't like this minigame. I don't need to sit here and explain to you why tail grabbing games are complete arse wank. I'm sure we've all been in those games where Stretch Armstrong has had your tail off you from halfway across the map, and you're like some sort of T-Rex trying to have it back off them. There are definitely some lag and desync issues with this game right now, which I think all 3 of these games suffer from. Royal Fumble suffers the worst out of all the tail tags because there's only one tail, and I also think fundamentally the way the game is structured doesn't work either. I just don't think it's good to have it where the winner is the person holding the tail when the time runs out, because it's a 2-minute game and what it effectively does is render the first minute and a half of it completely meaningless. If you worked it on a system where no one starts with the tail and you put it in the middle and everyone has to race to it, and then the winner is whoever holds the tail for the longest, that could work. Egg Scramble suffers a lot from the lag. If you get put on yellow team, you're probably going to get bullied out of it. And half the time, you can't actually tell if someone physically grabbed the egg off you or if they use the force. Full Ball is actually one that could be a lot higher. It's just a bit shaky at the moment. It's very present in this one. And I'm not just talking about like the odd little skip here and there. I'm talking like we've reached CTR levels of desync. And also for some reason, the game does this thing where it likes to make you play Full Ball when there's like 11 players left, which is just complete horseshit if you end up on the team with less players. You might as well just get a loading screen with a jelly bean flipping you off, like, looks like you're out. So for me, Full Ball as of right now is in the bin, but if they fix it, it could easily go up like 2 or 3 tiers. Then we got the naff tier. We have Hoarders, Perfect Match, Tail Tag, and Team Tail Tag. Team Tail Tag, ironically, is probably the tail grabbing game that I dislike the least, because I'm not that big on team games. Yep, I'm one of them. Actually, for me, Team Tail Tag is probably the most bearable of the 3. I think, honestly, the equation for me is just the more tails there are in the game, then the more bearable it is. And obviously the team tag has a lot more tails, a lot more space, and the qualifying is a lot more lenient as well. It's only one team that gets eliminated, so that's why I think it's probably the best of the 3. Tail tag is just shit for all the reasons that Royal Fun Vacuum is. It's just not quite as shit because there's more tails. Perfect Match actually isn't that bad a minigame. I've said this before, I just think it's pointless because no one ever gets eliminated from it. Because it's so easy to just sort of sheep it and follow the crowd, I don't think I've ever played a game of Perfect Match where more than 5 people have been eliminated. And Hoarders honestly isn't even like fundamentally broken. I just fucking hate this one. Yep, that is genuinely my justification for putting it in this tier. Welcome to Wolfy Playz tier lists. Next we have the sort of lower mid tier. We got Tiptoe, Rock and Roll, Hit Parade, DoorDash, and Block Party. Tiptoe is alright, it's just hella frustrating when you're getting towards the end and then some dickhead just shoves you off. Other than that, it's not too bad. Rock and Roll is one of them ones I don't really like or dislike it. I will say this much for Rock and Roll. I like that it promotes like pure teamwork, but I don't like how easy it is to sabotage other teams, because then it's less of a contest of which team can push their ball to the end first, more of a contest of just which team doesn't get bullied. Honestly, the more I've been playing Hit Parade, the more I've actually started to think I don't really like it that much. I think races are great as a category. I just think there's too many points in this one specifically where you can just get completely Mufasa'd. DoorDash is kind of similar, especially when you start getting towards the end, and if you weren't that one fortunate person who went for it and guessed the right door, you're gonna get absolutely trampled. And Block Party is a bit like, it's fine, but have you ever had them ones where you make it to like the last 3 seconds and then suddenly a sea of like 7 or 8 people suddenly get wiped out, and then you get wiped out by the pile of corpses? Moving up to the good tier, we got Seesaw. Pretty solid mode, but to be fair, I understand why people don't like it. Dude, it's just basic physics. Some people just don't seem to get it. Well, that's a decent minigame, can't complain. There's just nothing about it that really jumps out to me like, wow, this minigame is sick. It's good. Jinxed is basically one big elaborate game of it, and I think it's good fun, honestly. It's not that bad. I tell you when this mode is especially fun is when you actually get to start off Jinxed, and you get to go and tag like 10 people. Hoopsie is definitely my favorite team game. Definitely had a lot of fun with this one. If you've got a decent team, you can just plow through this one. Fruit Shoot can be a pain in the ass. Again, a banana up your Fruit Shoot hurts, but it is good fun, and it's not complete potluck. There is kind of a curve to it. Once you kind of learn the physics of all the various different fruit, it's actually a lot easier than it looks. Full Mountain, probably responsible for more than half my wins. I like Full Mountain, it's pretty good. It can fuck you sometimes, like just straight bend you over and have its way with you. And I don't like how sometimes you get into it and it makes you start back row, but it's not the end of the world. I like Full Mountain. So then we get to the solid tier, and this is where I think Jump Showdown is going to end up going. It's a variation of Jump Club, and I already think Jump Club is a really good minigame, like proper total wipeout style final. And I also really like the idea of tiles dropping out as the game progresses to make it harder. Hey, I'm looking forward to this one coming out. I think it's going to be good. Dizzy Heights, solid race. Really like Dizzy Heights. I just like the race ones. That's just my kind of thing. And Dizzy Heights is one of them ones that's actually never made me want to lobotomize myself. Jump Club, as I mentioned earlier, it's a good mode. It's exciting. As it gets faster, you have to actually start thinking about where you're positioning yourself, and it's fucking hilarious watching people get wiped out by it. Gate Crash is another race I think that's really good. It's just about timing, really. And once you learn the rotations of like when the gates come down and when they go back up, you actually be surprised at how easy this one is. Slime Climb. I love Slime Climb. In fact, I almost want to move it up a tier. Do you know what? That's exactly what I'm going to do. You can go up here. I call this the boss music level. One of the things I love about Fall Guys is just how casual it is and how accessible it is to so many people, and that a lot of the mini games are quite easy. And then they just threw this one in that's just like way harder than the rest. I think it's brilliant, mate. I like Slime Climb because it actually puts you on edge, because not only are you trying to get to the top through the sea of people, but you're against the clock as well, because you got the Pepto-Bismol that's rising the whole time, and it's like you can only fuck it up so many times before it's going to catch up with you and you're going to get eliminated. I'll tell you the only thing I don't like about this one. The only thing I don't like about Slime Climb is because it eliminates so many people, it's often followed by Royal Fun Vacuum. Continuing the legendary tier, we got the Whirly Gig. This is definitely my favorite race. It's just good fun. It's exciting. There's only one part of this level that's kind of horseshit, and that's when you got to jump on the little yellow box to get up the ledge. If you get caught in the crowd, then have fun with that. And then at the top of the top tier, we have Hexagon. This is where I say nothing in this game is really objective. I personally think this is the best final. I know a lot of people who think this is the worst final. I like Hexagon because you actually have to think shit out. You actually have to think about what you're doing. You have to plan your next move. You have to plan the next layer. This one really is all about outsmarting your opponents, and that's why I like it so much. So that's why I think it's earned a place in the top tier. And there you go. That pretty much covers it. That is my Fall Guys minigame tier list. As always, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you want to see more tier lists in the future, then make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you're new around here. Turn on the notification bell end. And thanks as always for watching. Have a good one. And I'll see you next time.